Barrack storm. Kim Tae-young reprimanded by the Korean military for visiting Jungkook in the hospital. The K-pop world has been shaken once again by shocking news. This time, the spotlight is on two BTS members, Kim Tae-young V and Jungkook, who are currently serving their mandatory military service. This unexpected incident involves Jungkook's health condition and V's spontaneous action, which resulted in a reprimand from the South Korean military. What really happened behind this event? According to exclusive reports from various sources, Jungkook suffered from severe food poisoning in the military barracks. After completing his duties, he suddenly felt nauseous, dizzy, and weak, leading to an emergency transfer to a military hospital for immediate treatment. News of his condition quickly spread, reaching Tae-young, who was stationed at a different base. On the other hand, Army continues to rally support for Tae-young. Hashtags like #JusticeForTaeyoung and #StayStrongJungkook have been trending across multiple social media platforms, with millions of tweets flooding the internet. Some fans have even sent open letters to South Korea's Ministry of Defense, urging them to consider the case more humanely. Tae-young's reaction, known for his close bond with Jungkook, was inevitable. Some reports state that he immediately requested permission to visit his friend, but his request was denied on the grounds that the situation did not meet the criteria for an emergency. However, instead of giving up, V allegedly found another way to see Jungkook. An anonymous source reported that upon arriving at the hospital, V appeared highly emotional upon seeing Jungkook still lying weak in bed. The moment became even more touching when Jungkook, despite being unwell, greeted his friend with a faint smile. However, the emotional visit was short-lived. Military officials quickly discovered Tae-young's presence at the hospital and promptly escorted him back to his base for interrogation. The military's decision to reprimand V sparked a wave of protests from fans. Armies worldwide argued that Tae-young's actions were not a violation of discipline, but rather a true testament to friendship and genuine care. Many even compared this case to other incidents involving public figures who faced lesser consequences. This situation has even triggered a massive movement on social media. An online petition demanding justice for V gathered tens of thousands of signatures within hours. Fan pressure continues to rise, urging the military to reconsider its decision. On the other hand, Jungkook reportedly felt guilty after learning about the consequences Tae-young had to face. In an emotional state, he was said to have pleaded for the reprimand against his friend to be lifted. Meanwhile, other BTS members, including Jin, who is also currently serving in the military, voiced their opinions. Jin emphasized the importance of military discipline, but also suggested that there should be more flexibility in certain cases. As of now, the South Korean military has not released an official statement regarding a possible leniency for Tae-young. However, with growing public pressure, many hope the issue will be resolved fairly. The big question remains, did Tae-young truly deserve the reprimand? Or was this just a misunderstanding that should have been handled with more discretion? As speculation continues to spread, one thing is certain, the world's attention is now focused on the final decision to be made by the South Korean military. Will they listen to the fans? Or will strict regulations remain the top priority? Let's wait for further developments. As pressure from fans and the media continues to mount, various speculations have begun to emerge regarding how the South Korean military will handle this case. Military law experts argue that while discipline is crucial in the military environment, there is room to consider humanitarian factors in certain cases, especially those involving a soldier's health condition. Several former South Korean military personnel have also shared their views, stating that strict military regulations indeed prohibit personnel from leaving their duties without explicit permission. However, they acknowledge that in some cases, superiors have the authority to grant special permission based on specific circumstances. If it is true that Tae-young did not receive permission but still attempted to visit Jungkook, then disciplinary action might be considered justified from a military perspective. However, if this case is dismissed without taking emotional factors and emergency conditions into account, the decision could spark widespread public dissatisfaction. Amid this controversy, some entertainment industry observers highlight how BTS's popularity and Army's influence could impact the military's decision. As a group recognized for making significant contributions to South Korea, both economically and culturally, some argue that the military should be more flexible in handling cases involving its members. However, others emphasize that giving BTS members special treatment could cause resentment among other soldiers and undermine military discipline. Meanwhile, recent reports indicate that although Taehyung has received a reprimand, he will not face severe punishment such as detention or a salary deduction. However, this decision is still under review, considering the immense public attention on the case. Some military officials who requested anonymity revealed that they are currently looking for a way to de-escalate the situation without violating existing regulations. Jungkook himself, who is reportedly recovering well, has not yet made an official statement regarding the incident. However, sources close to him say that he is deeply moved by Taehyung's concern and the overwhelming support from fans. Meanwhile, other BTS members, including RM and Jimin, have reportedly reached out to Taehyung's family to offer moral support. At this point, the final decision remains in the hands of the military. Will they uphold their reprimand against Taehyung, or will they reconsider their stance? One thing is certain, this incident has demonstrated the strong bond between BTS members and the unwavering support of ARMY. Do you think the military's decision is fair? Or should there be a more flexible policy for situations like this? Share your thoughts in the comments. Amid the uncertainty surrounding the military's final decision, discussions about Taehyung and Jungkook's case continue to grow. Several Korean media outlets have begun expanding the debate on military disciplinary policies, especially when it comes to high-profile figures like BTS. Some military analysts argue that this case could set a precedent for more humane regulations regarding soldiers facing emergencies involving family or close friends. Some suggest that the military should implement policies allowing soldiers to request special permission in urgent situations without having to go through overly complicated bureaucratic procedures. However, conservative voices maintain that loosening the rules could create a dangerous precedent and disrupt the established system of discipline. Meanwhile, reports indicate that military leadership is internally discussing how to respond to this situation. Some officials seem to recognize that public pressure could have significant consequences, especially considering that BTS is a national asset for South Korea in terms of cultural diplomacy and economic influence. However, the military also needs to uphold its authority as an institution based on strict rules and hierarchy. On the other hand, ARMY has been increasingly vocal in showing their support for Taehyung. In addition to the ongoing online petition gaining thousands of signatures, many fans have sent letters to South Korean embassies worldwide, urging the government to reconsider this case. Some reports even mention that fans in South Korea have organized peaceful protests in front of military headquarters, demanding fair treatment for Taehyung. Not only ARMY but also several Korean celebrities have spoken out. A well-known actor who previously served in the military shared his experience, explaining how military discipline can sometimes be rigid, even in situations involving health and family matters. He stated that Taehyung's case could serve as an opportunity for the military to update its policies to better reflect modern social realities. Meanwhile, Jungkook's condition is reportedly improving, and he has returned to his barracks to resume his service. However, some sources claim that he still feels guilty about the consequences Taehyung has to face. Reports suggest that Jungkook is even considering writing an official letter to the military authorities to defend his friend. As the situation continues to develop, speculation is growing about whether Taehyung will receive an exemption or have to face the consequences of his actions. Some observers believe the military might take a middle ground approach, issuing an official warning to Taehyung without imposing a more severe punishment, such as a salary deduction or a delay in promotion. With public pressure continuing to mount, many believe the final decision will be heavily influenced by public reaction. If ARMY and public opinion keep pushing, the military may reconsider and introduce more flexible policies in the future. Regardless of how this case will be resolved, one thing is certain. This incident highlights the strong bond between Taehyung and Jungkook, as well as the immense support ARMY has for their idols. Despite the strict military regulations, Taehyung's actions reflect sincerity and deep care, something that many people admire. Now, the decision lies in the hands of the South Korean military. Will they strictly uphold their rules without exception, or will they consider flexibility in certain situations? What's clear is that this event has sparked a broader discussion about the balance between discipline and humanity in the military. As we await further updates, let's continue to support Taehyung and Jungkook with positive energy. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for the latest news only on this channel. See you in the next video. Purple Heart hashtag Justice for Taeyong hashtag Stay Strong Jungkook.
And the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing.